All right. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. My name is Michelle Healy, and I'm the Director of Facility Development and Planning for the Santa Clara School District. First, I want to extend my gratitude to each of you for taking the time to be part of this important conversation for Don Callejon. The facilities master plan is not just a blueprint for construction. It's a vision for the future that will shape the educational experiences of generations to come. The district is master planning each and every school site in the district, and all phases of the plan at this point are unfunded. In the next few moments, we'll explore the purpose and significance of the master plan, recap the findings of the recent facility needs assessment, and delve into the proposed unfunded phases. But most importantly, we'll discuss how your input and insights will be the guiding light in this process. We believe that the success of this plan depends on your perspectives, your aspirations, and your concerns for the Don Callejon school site. It's a collective endeavor that thrives on collaboration, and we're eager to hear your thoughts and ideas. I encourage you to be active participants, asking questions, sharing your visions, and helping us prioritize the improvements that will make Don Callejon an even better place for our students to learn and grow through their facilities. So let's dive into the exploration of our school's future. Joining me tonight are Lee Pollard and Vicki Luang from HY Architects and Melissa Kirsch with the Facility Development Department for the district. Next slide. The district has already completed the facilities conditions assessment on each of our schools, and we assessed the age, infrastructure, and functionality of each of the equipment at Don Callejon. Since the school is rather new, most everything is up to par and does not need to be replaced anytime soon. So with the master plan, we're really focusing on future replacement as well as expanding the programs that are currently on campus. The facility master plan is that long-range plan that serves as a guide for facility improvements. And so we've already met with some staff, we're meeting with you, and then we want to make sure that this long-range construction plan for future funding that the district may receive is thorough and addresses all of the goals and needs of Don Callejon. And with that, I will turn it over to Vicki or Lee.
Thank you, Michelle. I'll start, and Vicki, you can jump in if I've missed anything. So as Michelle said, we're on a process here of kind of developing a master plan for Don Callejon, like we are at all the schools around the district, that kind of looks at the school and looks at the needs going forward so that we can make these schools the best we can in the future. We've already had a series of community meetings with the school site, and this is our meeting with the community to kind of tell you what we've discovered so far and then get your feedback on that. After we've had this meeting, we will refine our master plan and eventually take it to the school board for confirmation and approval. The first thing we did when we started meeting with the school site was we talked about what the school liked about their site and what worked really well. There were some things that came to the fore that people really like: the active community that is Don Callejon, felt it was a positive place and enjoyed some of the amenities like the garden and other spaces and the large community open space. There was some desire to improve some of these things. The portables that are on the south side of the multi-purpose building were felt to be small and needed to be improved and enlarged, and looking for ideas of trying to be able to better use the multi-purpose building for other functions in that area. The school site was also looking at ways of improving wellness and making the place a better place for students. And then finally, the design lab was something that the school felt was very important to the success of the educational program and something that they wanted to see us keep and enhance. So in doing that and going back and looking at the district's overall overarching goals, we came up with a series of some major some items that we wanted to look at. First, to enhance the kindergarten and TK play yards. Second, to improve the design lab, making it larger. Modernizing the science labs to support the upper grade education. In the middle there, you can see it said there's an arrow pointing to add toilet, and that is for the special education classroom. And finally, to replace the portables with real classroom buildings. One of the district-wide goals is to remove portables off of all of the campuses on a long-term basis. And so the way we're going to approach this, or proposing approaching this, is to create.
Wait, Lee,
Yes,
I want to make sure stop and see if we have any questions right now before we
Thank you.
continue on.
very good. Thank you.
Silence. Okay.
Please, since it's a small group, please feel free to either raise your hand or just unmute yourself and give your feedback to us. Thanks. All right, go ahead, Lee.
All right, not hearing any. And please, if you feel like you have a question or you want to say something, either put it in the chat or just unmute yourself and just go ahead and ask questions, because I'm perfectly comfortable being stopping and dealing with concerns as they come up or thoughts as they come up. So the two of the major things that come out of this discussion was, one, creating a new design lab that's a larger space, and we've located it on the classroom, at the end of the classroom wing next to the field. Whoops, there we are. Shoot. Next to the field in this area here. Second is to use the old design lab and some space on the first floor of the main building to create wellness spaces and a wellness breakout space to improve those support services for students. And then the last element of this was to go in and expand the multi-purpose building, and that has a number of elements to it. Expanding the multi-purpose building. For the first part is to renovate and expand the kitchen for full cooking. The district is looking at improving its food services district-wide by providing full cooking kitchens at every school. The multi-purpose room has inadequate locker and bathrooms for the students, and so we are looking at adding a space so that we can have both boys and girls restrooms, all gender changing space for students. The school was also concerned about not having enough space in its multi-purpose room to do all the activities that it might want to do. And so one of the things we're proposing doing is adding a flex space off there to the south or bottom side of the multi-purpose, which would be a 2,000 or 3,000 square foot room where large groups and large group activities could occur. Adjacent to that, we're proposing putting a large music classroom to support the music program. And finally, to replace the extended day portable that's down at the south near the field, we're proposing adding a large extended day classroom for students showing up or there before and after school. And so I rushed through that a little bit. If anybody has any questions, thoughts, I can always go back and talk about it. Or if you have some ideas, we certainly would like to hear them.
In addition, we'd like to know if anyone are there any other programs that we should consider, since Don Callejon is a K-8, are there any other programs that we should consider spaces for in the future? Yes,
Michelle, there's one hand raised.
whoever's is Providence
Yes.
Destiny.
Yes, hello. I just wanted to know, are these, is this presentation going to be available later so we can look over it more carefully while we're cooking dinner?
Yes, absolutely. So it's already published. This master plan process has a website off of the facility development and planning website, and we'll send Mr. Alberts a link so that he can link it from the Don Callejon website to our website. The presentation is on there, and then there's also an email that you can email SUSD masterplans@susd.net. So if you have any feedback in the future, if anyone else has any feedback in the future, they can email that and just say this feedback is for Don Callejon, and then we will incorporate that into the plans.
All right, thank you.
Lee, do you want to go back one slide? Or Vicky? Yeah. So we have the whole.
One of the items I went through, I skipped over it in my presentation, and I'd actually like to ask a question of the group. Is one of the things that was expressed was a desire to refurbish the quad and make that a better activity area for the students. And I was wondering whether there was anybody in the group who had any thoughts regarding that and how that might function or how that might support your students.
I did want to add one thing that I thought about.
Yes.
We now do have a full kinder to 8th grade mod severe program. And so I don't know if we want to consider also just in that general upgrade of the quad, but also the playgrounds, a consideration for just accessibility in general for more students.
That's a very good idea. I also see in the chat that Lori said that you'd love to see smaller basketball hoops. I assume that's for the younger kids. But yeah, yes, Mr. Alberts, we can look at trying to make more accessible areas for a the mod severe program. I think everybody's just absorbing all of this, which is fine. As Michelle said, there is the district email address that if you think of comments after this presentation is over and you'd like to share it, I know that the facilities and district leadership is very interested in hearing your comments or thoughts.
See, there's a new comment. Any new programs for special need kids? That might be a Michelle question, actually.
So as Mr. Alberts mentioned, that we are expanding the special education programming at Don Callejon. So I think it'll be important to incorporate some of those classrooms, as well as that was one of the reasons for having the wellness breakout space. where that could be a space for we're kind of calling it the calming corner or the calming room. And so it's different from wellness, where the wellness center is more of your psychologist and counselor, and that's where kids are going to go to get actual support. But the idea with the wellness breakout room is that it's a calming space. It may have a water fountain in it, or it may have ocean sounds, and it has dimmer lighting, and it has more of a calming, kind of like when you almost walk into a spa and you feel that immediate just relaxation in you. And so we're looking at implementing those at several of our schools over the next few years. And so that's what this space would do, is that if a student, any student really needed some, just to get out of the classroom, calm themselves, just if they're having a tough day, they need to kind of reboot, that a student could go here, and that it would be staffed, and that student could be there for 15 minutes and then not necessarily need any other support, but just need to take a deep breath, get out of the classroom environment, and then be able to go back to class. And so that's what we're looking at for the wellness breakout spaces. That's something that we're discussing at a district level. We're also looking at the expanding the music programs, having adequate music rooms for arts. And the design lab would also be something where you could do art in it, you could do more science, it could be a wet lab, dry lab. And we're looking at making that large enough so that you could have 8th graders or 1st graders in there, and that you could do more things that you can't do in a carpeted classroom. And have more push out space. So what we're thinking for that design is it would potentially have roll up doors on it, and you could have indoor, outdoor lessons all at the same time. And so that's what we're thinking about for the design lab. All right, well, thank you, everybody. As Melissa put in the chat, she put in the link to the website, and it's on the slide, and then the email. Please feel free to email us anytime. We will also be creating a listserv for this. So if you want updates, just send us an email and we can put you on the listserv for when we do make progress and this does go to the board for approval. We're looking at taking the master plans to the board sometime next year. It'll probably be in the fall of 24, but we still have one more meeting, at least one more meeting with the school site staff after this meeting, and then we will be finalizing the master plan. So I know it's a lot of information to take in right now, and if you think of anything, feel free. You can talk to your principal, you can email us directly via the email, and we'd like to get as much feedback as possible. So you have a couple more months to get us your feedback if needed. So if there's nothing else, thank you so much. Oh, let's see.
Chat.
Okay, so there isn't any funding for this. So we are doing this at every school, and this is for anticipation of future funding. So one of the things we know that we're going to be getting some reimbursement money for construction for building Agnew, Huerta, and McDonald from the state, and that's still a few years out. We're also applying for some grant money, and we have some money that may be coming in from developers. And so all of that money can be used for construction of new facilities or modernization of existing facilities. So these master plans are to get us in position for when we get the money, then we know what we want to do first. So in your feedback, if you also wanted to let us know what is your highest priority, is it the music room? Is it expanding a flex room for PE? Is it the wellness room? What are your priorities? Then that would help us also figure out what project may move forward and what doesn't. But at this point, we do not have a timeline for any of this. That's a very good question. Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone, again. We really appreciate it. And when there's updates, we will have the principal send it out in his newsletter and give you an update. And then we'll certainly let everyone know before it goes to the board for approval. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening.